This week, in today's video, we're talking about overcoming 3 struggles that every single creator faces. I don't care if you just picked up a camera or you've been doing this for 10 plus years. These are 3 things that all creators face, including myself. And I'm going to tell you how I have overcame them. And I'm actually currently still working on doing that. So if you're new here to Let's Meet for Coffee, this is only episode 2. So pretty much everyone is new. It is a casual chat every Friday about the creative industry. The name came from sitting at a cafe with your buddy, chatting about cameras, chatting about the creative process. That's something that I used to love to do pre-COVID. And now that all coffee shops are shut down, I've kind of lost that ability, which sucks. So we're bringing that here to the Adventure Labs community every Friday. It's going to be super casual. This is live. I do have some notes, but it's pretty much unscripted. So without further ado, let's get into struggle number 1 that all creators face at some point and how I have personally overcame that and how you can too if you implement these tips. So the first one is lack of confidence in your work. That's a huge, very broad statement I'm making. And that could come from the standpoint of you're scared to post your work. You don't even want to go out and shoot because you don't think your work's good enough. It's kind of that typical creator, we're always hard on ourselves type of feeling. And I'm sure if you've picked up a camera, you immediately know what I'm talking about, right? So how do we overcome that? Well, first is you have to understand that everyone sucks at everything they do in the beginning. Doesn't matter what. You could pick up a camera. You're not going to be good at photography the very first time you do that. Think about like a nurse or a doctor. They don't just start performing on people having never done it or learned about it before. And then to bring it more relevant to this industry, I mentioned Peter McKinnon earlier. You think Peter was a good photographer the second he picked up his camera or even phone? Maybe he was. I don't know. He's kind of a legend. We're looking a little overexposed. There we go. But probably not. Most people suck when they start doing anything. And just coming to terms to that, if you're just starting out and being okay with it and accepting it, is going to boost your confidence like crazy. Don't get so worked up in the fact that you don't think your work is great the first time you take a photo. Grab a camera, recognize that your first photo and probably your 10th and your 100th and maybe even your 1000th is going to suck, right? But that's just going to give you more confidence and understanding in why you're creating content. So that's sort of tip number 1 when it comes to building confidence as a creator. The second part is that pro tip here, little secret, you will never be satisfied with the quality of your work. Let me let that sink in while I take a sip of coffee here. You will never be cool with the quality of your work. As you get better, your expectations of your content are also going to go up. So and that's how we get better. So let's move right on to struggle number 2. And struggle number 2 as a creator is feeling like you have boring videos or you're just feeling a lack of inspiration. Like you shoot maybe 2 or 3 videos that you're super excited for, and then come video 4, you just lose inspiration. You don't know what to shoot. You don't want to shoot another review. You don't want to shoot another portrait session or whatever. Happens to everyone. So that's struggle number 2, is a lack of inspiration, feeling like your content you're producing is just boring. So here's how I personally overcome that. Make a plan. Sit down before you go out and shoot for 1 to 2 hours. Grab a pencil, a notebook, a piece of paper, pad of paper. Make a plan before you shoot. Come up with some wild idea. Doesn't even have to be wild. You could be filming plants in your front or backyard, whatever. But sit down and make a little storyboard. Write things out. That'll get the creative juices kind of flowing. That's what I do all the time if I don't really have the inspiration to just pick up a camera and go. Sit down beforehand and plan what you're going to shoot. Write it out. Do a little quick storyboard. Do a little shot list. Even write about what your little video is going to be about. Talk about the story. Now, on the flip side, sometimes you just may have no idea where to start. So that's not going to work. So in other cases, sometimes you literally do have to just grab your camera, head outside, and start shooting. I guarantee you the hardest part is just starting. So once you're actually out there shooting, getting shots, reviewing them, just going through that creative process, I promise the creative juices will start flowing. The ideas will come. Something that you could never have even thought of sitting there with your notepad might spark just in the process of doing it and creating, right? So that's struggle number 2, and how to overcome lack of inspiration or boring videos. The last struggle we're going to talk about today, struggle number 3 that all creators face. And before I say that, our live just got cut off because someone called me. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode. So here we are back. That's why we just quit. But anyway, struggle number 3 is buying camera gear. I think that's something everyone can relate with. Camera gear is super expensive. People ask me all the time how I can afford camera gear. Sometimes give me a hard time about owning camera gear, saying, oh, must be nice to have all that gear. But here's the secret. I've been working for over 10 years to get to the point where I am today with my gear. Every single day, all day long, my brain is thinking about shooting content, how I can up my game, become a better creator, get a better shot, work with the next brand, literally 24/7. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, that entrepreneurial mindset. But I've been working for 10 years plus straight to get to the point where I am today, to be fortunate to have this microphone. I just kind of hit it for those on YouTube. This laptop, this camera, this live stream setup. It takes time and it takes work. So to do that, reinvest every single dollar you make into a gear fund. And I'm talking every single dollar, even in the beginning, when you don't have dollars, invest your time. If you have no work and you need a portfolio and you want to make money as a creator and you want to have nice, fancy, expensive gear to one day shoot dope content, go shoot a video for free. If you're interested in portrait photography, grab a friend, someone off the street. I don't know, people do that on TikTok now. And go shoot some stuff for free. Then take that free content you just shot, present it to a business or another friend that might be more willing to pay for your portrait session, and charge them not a whole lot, $20, $50. Do that a few times. Okay, then put some of that money aside. As you get better and better here, you're charging more and more. Then you charge $100 for a shoot. Then you charge $200, then $500, then $1,000. Then eventually you're going to get to a point, if you're passionate and committed enough, where you're closing 5 and 6 figure shoots, $10,000, $100,000 shoots. And now you wonder how you can have such nice camera gear. It's because you've worked a long, hard time to get that gear and you use it as a tool. Once you start doing this for a living and you're making money with cameras, they become tools, not just toys. It's an investment. Every dollar you put into your camera has to be at least $2 back for that to be a good investment. So how do you buy camera gear? How do you afford expensive gear? Work at it, work hard, shoot content for free, then for a little money, then more money, then a lot of money, continue to reinvest. It's possible. Everyone who has nice camera gear ever has done it. So that's how you buy expensive camera gear. So I'm going to wrap things up here before we get into a quick Q&A for those that are here. If anyone even has questions or just wants to say what's up, grab a sip of my coffee. If you're new on the live, this is Let's Meet for Coffee, casual series talking about the creative industry. Struggle number 1 that we talked about overcoming was lack of confidence in your work. Struggle number 2, lack of inspiration, boring videos, thinking you're shooting boring stuff. How do you get better at coming up with ideas? How do you become more creative and make that actually come to fruition? And then struggle number 3 is affording expensive camera gear. Just a quick recap, if you forgot what we talked about already, those were the 3 things. Before we dive into the Q&A, just want to say thanks for chilling. Thanks for coming out here. Hopefully you have your coffee. You got a little caffeinated. I definitely am. If you want more tips and tricks like this delivered to your inbox about twice a week, join our creator newsletter, the Adventure Labs creative newsletter. It's adventurelabs.co, not .com, adventurelabs.co/creator newsletter. Go to that web address, enter your name, email. You're going to get tips like this and even a summary of this video sent to your inbox totally for free.